So, my good people, let me break something down for you guys. I don't want to talk about the whole show. I'll just talk about a couple of things. A couple of things is all I need to talk about. So, last night's SmackDown, I just had a conversation with someone about it. And there's a couple of people. He says, one of my friends, he said, I watched it. He said, man, I just can't get into it anymore. He said, I don't even understand what the hell was going on. He said, it's felt like I'm missing something. And I said, well, to be frank about it, and, about four of us, just four of us just sitting there chatting, phone chatting, chilling, relaxing. And to cut to the chase, okay, I'm explaining to you what I explained to them, and they all said, you know what, you're right. That's what that did. That's why this story makes no sense. Okay, let me explain something to you guys. First of all, John Cena gave us an explanation that basically didn't lead to anything. He didn't explain anything. And in fact, it even makes less sense. The reason why John Cena keeps coming out and he keeps taking digs at the beginning of the heel turn, okay? He doesn't dwell on it, but he'll take a dig at it. Like, example, he already told Cody Rhodes, I knew I was going to beat you because of your response to The Rock when he told The Rock to go fuck himself. Why? Because he was telling The Rock, I won't sell out. No, I will not just do anything to win, right? I'm going to do it the right way. Whereas John Cena, on the other hand, he knew he would do exactly what he had to, whatever that may be, to win. So, when he says that, what wasn't explained was The Rock's affiliation with John Cena. Why? The Rock never came back and spoke a word about why he even decided he came to that conclusion that he wants Cody Rhodes to be his champion. And all this, I'll give you the keys to the kingdom shit, right? Then he sits here on an interview and says that the final boss character did its job. So, go way back to WrestleMania 40. What did he come out and tell Cody Rhodes the following week when Cody Rhodes, after he beat Roman Reigns? He told him our story. Because remember, he told him, let's not forget, The Rock pinned your shoulders to the mat in the 1, 2, 3 in that tag match with him and Roman versus Cody and Seth. So he tells Cody Rhodes that he has to go away now. Crowd starts singing, na 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 na, hey, goodbye. Remember that? But he told Cody, but our story isn't over. Oh, no, my friend. The Rock and Cody Rhodes story has just begun. Well, wasn't that a load of shit? Because what happened since then? The only thing he managed to do was tell Cody Rhodes he wanted him to be his champion. Now, nothing was explained. Why did he choose Cody? He just gave Cody until the Elimination Chamber or whatever to come out with his answer. Okay. Nothing was explained. The Rock never explained his affiliation with John Cena. John Cena never explained his affiliation with The Rock. All he did last night was come out and give you guys some Inspector Gadget, PG-13 bullshit of an excuse. Where his mindset was thinking. How when Scooby-Doo at the end, how Velma and Fred all them start solving the case about, and that's why he did this and that, and when we went over there, that gave him enough time to go over there and put on the wolf costume and come out and scare the love. That's all the fuck John Cena did last night. So with your little young feeble brains, you probably think like you saw some good shit last night. I mean, if you like what you saw, more power to you. But this was nothing but some more bullshit. And basically, when he said what he said, and all of this setup about how he was waiting for this and his master plan was this and that, and he knew he's going to get past CM Punk and how Seth Rollins won't cash in and all this shit that he said. Bottom line, okay, to sum it all up, John Cena basically said he was going to turn heel with or without The Rock. Basically, listening to his own words. He didn't say those words, but everything he said explained that. So you were just going to turn heel regardless. It had nothing to do with The Rock. The Rock stepped in and did this and has never showed his face, never explained nothing about why. Why? We know, okay, you turned me down, so now I'm going to sick the dogs on you. But John Cena's affiliation. So nothing was explained. So John Cena made an attempt last night to let's try to, okay, we're getting flack about our lazy storytelling in these garbage matches. Let me try to reiterate what what my plans was. Okay, and why the story makes zero sense and don't lead to shit, because the story did not fucking start with John Cena. It started with the fucking Rock. And the fact that Roman Reigns lost his title to John Cena. Well, when The Rock is addressing John Cena, at any point, what do you expect? Something to happen. And leading up to him saying, The Rock and Cody Rhodes story has just begun. Now, I don't even care to see The Rock back in the ring, to be honest with you. The point, what I'm saying is, the story went nowhere. And if the story had started with John Cena, at least then he could say, okay, he could make up for, all right, now let me explain why I did what I did. All you did was explain what you did after your heel turn. You never explained why the fuck you turned heel. You never explained your affiliation with The Rock and what all this came out of. You see, this is what I'm saying, how you guys, see, SmackDown was great last night. Finally, they did a good job, and no, that shit was the same old bullshit. So big deal, Randy Orton comes out, blah, 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 and he wants to get number 15. You know, after Cody comes out, he tells him, I love you like a brother and all this shit, but you know, if I gotta, he's tripping over his words, like he doesn't know what he's trying to say. CM Punk comes out with his bullshit. It's just the same shit. And the same faces, if you look, it's like I said, you take a whole year at the WWE, you got the same guys at some point, whether it's 4 guys for 7 months, and to 9 months, and then going to that last month, start of the new year, or whatever, it ends up being 2 of those 4 or 3 of those 4, just a fresh face to come in and mix with. I mean, it's the same shit. This is what we saw last night. So, his story didn't explain shit. It's like, okay, if you ask the person who created cars, how did they start? Right? And the person starts saying, well, see, that's a good question. That's a good question. So when I bought my car, right, I like fast cars. And my car goes from, 0 to 65 in 0.2 seconds. That's really fast, And basically, my car can go to, 180. And, I like to drive it. Yeah, you're explaining your car. You're explaining when you bought your car and what you wanted. You did not explain the beginning. What was the first car? Right? That's what Cody Rhodes did. That's what John Cena did last night. He didn't explain shit about why this even happened. But he talks about how he's always 1,000 steps ahead of everybody else, and he already won the championship before a year ago, and all. I mean, all he did was talking. You go, oh, he's a genius. I'm like, wow, you guys are just okay. So that's what we got last night. Him basically, like I said, doing his Inspector Gadget / Scooby-Doo and a mystery team way of, trying to give you an explanation as to why he did what he did. But this is after the heel turn. He didn't explain anything else. Why do we even fucking care? okay, you did this. We saw what you did. So to explain the way you were thinking doesn't fucking matter. Because whether you retire with that belt or not, who really cares? Who really cares? They'll probably just replace that belt with a new belt because that's what they're planning on doing anyway, if that would be the case or however. And you can say the first time in history a guy retired with it, okay, cool. But after that, you're gone. Then your story disappears completely. You understand what I'm saying? And the sport moves on with or without you. That's all we got last night. Jacob Fatu comes in the middle of the ring. He stands there. And first of all, before I even get to Jacob, you see, the WWE has not been finishing stories, man. They've been so lazy because even like, what was the match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa about in the first place? Who the real tribal chief is, right? So didn't you all get the impression that Roman Reigns was going to become the tribal chief again? And he was going to be the leader of the group? What group? You know, you barely see Jimmy. He pops up here and there in some worthless match. Jey Uso, of course, we know his story, but Roman Reigns disappears. He's a part-timer. And he wins the Ula Fowler back. And then nothing happens. And this new bloodline completely, it's garbage, man. It's trash. It sucks dog ass. It's not even, so that story just fell apart. Okay, shit happens in wrestling. But I'm looking at this dude, man. Solo Sikoa, or is he sitting there, you know, Jacob Fatu's in the ring, just talking about a bunch of nothing, and then he gets interrupted by Solo, and he's sitting there, and Solo starts talking about how I brought you here, nobody wanted you here, I made you. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be here. Okay, this is the same exact story that Becky Lynch is having with the bird bitch. And it's just like, this is what you guys are doing right now. Two people have the same goddamn story pretty much. And then this obsession with him telling this man to keep telling him he loves him and shit. Like, bro, I mean, and this is what y'all call a good show. These segments are really creepy as hell. They're just, and when I say creepy, I mean, it's like, it's so simple, man. There's no grown-up storytelling going on here, man. This is just some simple shit. And he tells him, I brought you in this world and I can take you out. And of course he means the world of the WWE, because he's not his damn father. And it just made, it was just so stupid, man. I'm just listening to this guy speak. I said, okay, here we go back to this I made you shit. Okay. If it wasn't for me, this, that, whatever. Well, okay. And like I said, Becky and the bird chick is having the same goddamn story. If it wasn't for me, this, that, and I made you and blah, blah, blah. Only she's not telling her to tell her, I need to hear you say I love you. And this guy's, I mean, there's something about this guy with this I love you shit. He just, like, has to be told by other men that he's loved. All right, so whatever. And then last but not least, I'm not even going to get into the rest of the show, man. But Naomi's character, man, she sounds too much like she's acting. You understand? Yeah, you all looking stupid. You all looking... And I'm just like, it's just too forced. Oh my God, she's killing this role. Oh my, she is the ultimate ballet. Okay, whatever, man. But she's saying what she's saying, and Tiffany Stratton comes out there, and she's, I mean... Their conversation now. Look, there's times when a crowd is just dead. Like some people, like I've seen matches, not so much in WWE so much, but I've seen matches where people like really put in, you know, even in WWE, but like that, like where the crowd is just not, they're just silent. But bottom line is, man, she came in there and she talked about how Tiffany hit it with the briefcase and this, that. It's like they're just trying to find a reason to start a feud between two people, but they're not really, it's lazy. So Tiffany comes out. Okay. Anyway, later on, they have the match where it's Nia, Jax, Piper, Niven, and Jade Cargill. Sloppy, man. This was a sloppy match. And y'all know how I feel about Jade and Nia. But And then Piper Niven, all they do is use her to get other people. All she is a jobber, man. She's like, I just don't understand. But Piper Niven. So anyway, she goes and the match was just sloppy, but she took Nia out as far as she went and rammed and speared her through the barricade. Then she went in there and she did Nia, like she did her little splash in the corner. Who the hell was it? Was it Meech? I think Meechin might have been in that match too. Well, anyway, she splashed somebody, and then Jade got the roll up and got the win. And she got the, Jade puts her in the. I would suggest that Jade get a second move, probably some type of like, I don't know, a submission or something, because when it comes to like Nia Jackson, like somebody like Piper Niven, Jade, you can clearly see they have to literally jump where you can see them jump, and then Jade is like, struggling to hold them for that little split second, and just, there's no real impact. The impact of what she did with Niven was weak. It was. You understand what I mean? It would be wise to, have her work on the second move, and not only just to use it for the bigger women, but it would help her out as well, because she that Jade driver or whatever was weak as fuck last night, because Piper Niven is so much heavier, and then you got the commentator, how strong is Jade Cargill, and she clearly struggled to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, bro. Anyway, and then Jade Cargill is also starring in the movie, or co-starring with them in the movie with Jonathan Majors. I forget the name of it, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. But she, this is what she wanted to do. And so now you have her. And who else is it? Is it Liv Morgan? One of them, Liv or Lex, one of them, the other wrestlers is supposed to be just starring in the movie. So, she's doing that. So she's probably going to disappear for a little while again. I don't know what this leads to with her. So maybe Naomi may get a push instead of Jade, because Jade is filming. So did she go out with the loss and look stupid in doing so? Or I don't know what they're going to do. But it was the same shit last night. But yeah, I think if one channel tries to say something positive and usually they're just complaining, I think other people don't even watch the show. I think other people probably just see like a fucking highlight or something, or just go off what they say and make their videos, because I didn't see shit last night that I felt like, okay, this was better. This was just, I think if anything, it's like John Cena made more of an effort to try to explain some shit instead of just insulting the fans and complaining about. I mean, even when he's talking about 25 years, like the shit he says, man, it just makes no goddamn sense. It doesn't explain, But this is what happens when you have the mind of a child and you get impressed by bullshit. Same old SmackDown shit to me, and it is what it is. But I just wanted to make this video because I people was talking to me like, man, I had to turn that shit off last night. That shit was, guys are like, the story don't make sense. And this is what I explained to them. Like, because John Cena didn't explain why this shit happened from the very beginning. And if you're going to sit here and talk about what your plan was from the very beginning, then you have to connect it to The Rock, because The Rock is the one that brought you in. And okay. You understand what I'm saying? So how the fuck is it? It was just your master plan. Let's exclude The Rock from it because he's not going to show his face. So it was one of those things. But I tell you guys what, it is what it is. And as far as the direction that they're going in right now, it's the same old shit to me, man. LA Knight comes out there and always talk about how nobody wants to fight him. I know that. One thing for sure, your plan didn't involve this man. Yeah, he does all that shit. Then they book him, the fans get behind him, and he just loses. Can't win anything fucking major. And at his age now, they probably will never put him in the position that, he would like to be in, and the fans would like to see him in. The ovation for people was weak. In fact, even when Naomi, she got the briefcase and started to run towards the ring, and when people do that, automatically the fans start, right, because they're expecting, she about to cash in, and then she doesn't. Because and Nia tells her, don't. And then she didn't do it. Like, who the fuck is Nia? Why would you listen to Nia? It was weird. And, R-Truth comes out because John Cena exited the ring, and he comes out, he attacks Cena from the back, and the fans start to, the security comes out and hold him. But, even the ovation for Truth wasn't, for Ryan, wasn't what you expected to be after all this big shit they made about him coming back. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I really think that these fickle-ass fans are not looking at Ron Killings the way they used to. I think it's more, we want the funny goofball Ron, R-Truth back. I really don't think that, because the ovation that you expect him to get wasn't the same thing. I don't know if they're looking at him, okay, he don't have the braids no more, he's not coming out rapping, hollering what's up, and saying the same rap he's been singing for over 2 decades. He's not coming out here, making us laugh like he used to. And I think that, like I said before, they may end up going, you know what, man, and turn their backs on Ron Killings. I don't know. But like I said, I don't see a point in the WWE trying to make him a heel. I just don't see it. Now, as far as him being serious and a no-nonsense type of person and don't take no shit, cool. That's what he should have been. Well, I can put it like this. He did what he did. But, like I said, at 53 years old, he doesn't have a long time left. And I don't know if they care enough about him to, have him become world champion. Like, he might be the one to take the belt off of John Cena. I don't know. We know for sure that the dancing, rapping, silly, goofy, Lil Jimmy, all that goofy shit. We know that Ron, that R-Truth wasn't going to do it. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it was just the same old lame shit, same old thing. Y'all thought y'all saw something. Y'all thought something good happened last night. Well, it is what it is. But just another episode. And I don't know, man. When they get some new feuds going on and they switch up where the feuds feel fresh when they do them, and they don't fucking make them last a whole goddamn year, man. It'll freshen things up, but they're just on that path of doing things one way, man. And their storytelling is weak. And that's the thing, when you sit there and realize you got 2 and 3 different feuds going on, and it's like the same type of shit being said. It's weird, man. It's just weird, man. And it's like I said, you know what's so funny? Jade Cargill was done wrong, right? Why she ain't come back acting like R-Truth? Why she come back so soft, crying? That was my big sister. And she got done dirty, and all she did was, okay, now I you put me out for 2 months, 2.5 months. I'm just gonna slap you around, and you gonna show up next week on SmackDown. Then I'm gonna beat you in a one-on-one match. But Jade doesn't have that. She doesn't have that aura anymore. She doesn't have that Jade is going to kill you aura. She doesn't have that appeal, man. And she basically goes in there, and as strong as she's supposed to be, the powerhouse and all of that, she goes in there and she like wins off the skin of her teeth. She's like, yeah, she's just another wrestler. Like I said months ago. She's nothing special about her anymore. She's just another wrestler. That's the way they use her. And hey, man, it is what it is. And that's all I'm going to say about this last night's SmackDown. And I'm on to the next one. Catch you guys on the next video.